For more than 1,000 years, one city stood as one of the most powerful and fortified places on Earth. That city was Constantinople. Strategically positioned between Europe and Asia, the city controlled the vital trade routes that connected the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. Its wealth, influence, and massive fortifications made it the crown jewel of the Byzantine Empire, the eastern continuation of the Roman Empire. But in the year 1453, this legendary city would face its greatest challenge. The origins of Constantinople go back to the 4th century. In the year 330 AD, the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great founded a new imperial capital on the site of the ancient Greek city of Byzantium. He named it Constantinople. Over the centuries, the city grew into one of the most magnificent capitals in the world. Its streets were filled with traders from distant lands, its churches glittered with gold mosaics, and its harbors were packed with ships carrying goods between continents. Protecting this extraordinary city were the legendary Theodosian Walls. Built in the 5th century, these enormous defenses stretched nearly 6 kilometers across the city's landside. With multiple layers of stone walls, towers, and defensive trenches, they were considered nearly impossible to breach. For centuries, invading armies tried to conquer Constantinople: Persians, Arabs, Bulgars, and Crusaders. Yet the walls held strong. But by the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire had weakened dramatically. Once a vast empire, it had shrunk to little more than the city itself and a few surrounding territories. At the same time, a powerful new empire was rising nearby, the Ottoman Empire. In 1451, a young and ambitious ruler came to power, Mehmed II. He was only 21 years old, but he had a bold dream: to capture Constantinople and turn it into the capital of his expanding empire. Mehmed understood the city's importance. Whoever controlled Constantinople controlled the gateway between Europe and Asia. So he began preparing for one of the most famous sieges in history. In April 1453, Mehmed arrived outside the city with a massive army estimated at around 80,000 soldiers, supported by cavalry, infantry, engineers, and a powerful navy. Inside Constantinople, the situation was grim. The city was defended by only about 7,000 soldiers, including Byzantine troops and a small group of foreign volunteers. Leading them was the Byzantine Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos. Despite the overwhelming odds, the defenders were determined to protect their city. Mehmed knew that conquering Constantinople would not be easy. The legendary Theodosian Walls had repelled invaders for nearly 1,000 years. But the Ottoman army possessed something new: giant gunpowder cannons. Among them was a massive weapon known as the Great Bombard. This enormous cannon fired huge stone projectiles weighing hundreds of kilograms. Each thunderous blast shook the ground as the cannonballs smashed into the ancient walls. Day after day, the bombardment continued. Slowly, the once invincible defenses began to crack. However, the walls were not the city's only defense. The harbor known as the Golden Horn was protected by a giant iron chain stretched across its entrance. This barrier prevented enemy ships from entering the city's most important harbor. But Mehmed devised an extraordinary plan. Under the cover of darkness, Ottoman engineers constructed wooden tracks across the hills beside the harbor. Then, using greased logs and hundreds of soldiers, they dragged dozens of ships over land. By morning, Ottoman warships appeared inside the Golden Horn, completely bypassing the chain. The defenders were stunned. Constantinople was now under attack from both land and sea. For 53 days, the siege raged. Cannons roared, arrows flew across the walls. Siege towers approached the defenses, while soldiers fought fiercely along the battlements. Inside the city, food supplies began to run low. Citizens gathered in churches to pray for salvation, yet reinforcements from Europe never arrived. The defenders were exhausted, but they continued to fight. Finally, on May 29, 1453, Mehmed ordered the final assault. Before dawn, waves of Ottoman soldiers launched a massive attack on the weakened sections of the wall. After hours of brutal fighting, a breach opened in the defenses. Ottoman troops poured into the city. During the chaos, Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos made a final decision. Removing his imperial insignia, he joined his soldiers in the battle, choosing to fight as an ordinary warrior rather than flee. According to historical accounts, he died fighting in the streets of the city. His body was never positively identified. By sunrise, the battle was over. After more than 1,100 years, the Byzantine Empire had fallen. The city of Constantinople was now under Ottoman control. Mehmed II soon began transforming the city into the capital of his empire. Over time, Constantinople evolved into Istanbul, one of the greatest cities of the Ottoman world. The fall of Constantinople had enormous consequences for global history. With traditional trade routes between Europe and Asia disrupted, European powers began searching for new ways to reach the riches of the East. This search eventually sparked the Age of Exploration, leading to voyages that would reshape the world. Today, the city still stands at the crossroads of continents. Ancient walls, towering mosques, and modern skyscrapers rise side by side, reflecting centuries of history layered upon one another. But the events of 1453 remain one of the most dramatic turning points in world history, the moment when the last remnant of the Roman Empire finally came to an end, and a new era began.
But we will not yield for our faith and our city.